two spots. There's
So they've
four
fallen
starting
off?
quarterbacks who have fallen off the mountain.
Okay.
Bo Nix, Skylar Thompson, Will Levis, and Daniel Jones
Where's the other
are all off the mountain. There are 28 quarterbacks. There are 28 spots on the mountain. The point I was making is Tua and Jordan Love are just, they've been helicoptered out to home base until they're back healthy again. Okay, now.
How is Bo Nix off the mountain and not Caleb Williams? If Bo Nix is off the mountain, Caleb Williams has to be off the mountain as well. No question about it.
Row 7 of the mountain. You jackals got what you wanted. Caleb is plummeting.
Is it left to right?
Jaden can't be on the same level as Caleb.
Caleb, it's not left to right. It's not right to left. It is just an assortment. Caleb has plummeted, and the climb will be historic and grand when he makes it. But you guys demanded that it be purely about what you've done in the NFL. So because of that,
no, let's
he has
include
to be
high
at the
school.
bottom.
And if that's the case, Caleb needs to be off the mountain. And Jaden, if you want to put him, if you have to put him at the bottom of the mountain, Jaden, which I could understand, Caleb needs to be off the mountain. Jaden and Caleb have not been the same quarterback in the NFL right now. Jaden has been legitimately successful. I'm not saying that he's been amazing, but he's been legitimately successful. He is not on the same level of Caleb right now. No question about it. No question.
It's next to Jaden Daniels, Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew. I'll be honest. I don't want Deshaun Watson or Andy Dalton on my mountain. But you can't put the other guys on it. And I'll be honest about this. I told the entire world, take out a second mortgage to bet against Malik Willis. And he really stuck it to me this weekend, so he gets a mountain spot. I'm as shocked as anybody, but Malik stuck it to me, and gamblers everywhere, so he gets on the mountain. Row 6. This one's pretty obvious as far as who fell and who rose. Brock Purdy's got a...
How is Sam Darnold on the same level as the Prince and Richardson and Fields? Sam Darnold has been a legitimate top quarterback in the NFL and not just been kind of like ironing over some of his deficits like they're kind of doing with Fields. Like, Sam Darnold deserves to be up there in the mountain. We're talking about this season. That's what we're talking about. This season. Purdy deserves to be elevated as well. And Hurts. I already told you week 2, Hurts was the 4th best quarterback in the NFL and was the number 1 just rusher in the NFL, including running backs as well. And that's part of his offense. So he deserves to be elevated as well. There's just no way that you're putting Purdy, Hurts, and the Prince and Fields and Richardson on the same level and Sam Darnold down there. Absolutely not. Oh my God. We're off to a
He had
awful
2
start so far.
terrible turnovers, could have had a third. Jalen Hurts, I thought played really well and then made a terrible decision at the end, so he maintains. The mountain is fair. And sadly, it's been, it's not snowing so much in the mountain as it is raining, which explains the Prince's fall. Sam Darnold and Justin Fields must move up. They have both played very well, and their teams are winning. And Anthony Richardson has to slip a bit. Listen, I love watching the guy play, but at this point, we need a little bit more consistency. So row 6, there's a lot of talent on that row, a lot of high draft picks. That's row 6. Now to the top 15 guys. Row 5. All risers except for one. Kyler Murray, playing the best ball he's played in years. Derek Carr, playing the best ball he's played in his life, kind of. More on that later. Kirk Cousins, I think you saw while Wilds, I think, was ready to say he needs to retire. Kirk, after week 1, Brew, back me up, Brew. Wilds had written off the Falcons, written off Kirk.
He did have 170 yards before a bold-headed play by Nick Sirianni.
170 yards before the game-winning 2-minute drive?
Yeah, that he shouldn't have had an opportunity to do.
But he did have the opportunity. Wilds, you know what, Wilds? Brew and I don't play fantasy football. We play real football. And in real football, he drove the team right down the field in a minute. He moved up and in that 2-minute drive looked good. Aaron Rodgers, I thought, played better in week 2 than week 1, so he moves up. My biggest conflict on the mountain, Brew, I'll be honest, was Jared Goff. Because I didn't think the level that he played, to me, deserved to move him down, but I couldn't put Darnold or Fields up. None of that felt right. So Goff is hanging on to that row.
Kyler and Kerr also have to be elevated. Imagine Carr. It's crazy because now obviously, Dak is going to be ahead of them. Imagine right now, who are you picking, right? Carr, Kyler, Purdy over, or are you picking Dak over those quarterbacks right now? Absolutely, positively not. What did Dak Prescott do against the Saints? And you want to just blame their defense. What did he do offensively? He did not look good. He had turnovers as well. I mean, he got real lucky with some of his hits because it was like blown coverage and missed tackles. Otherwise, his stats would be even worse. I mean, Carr and Purdy and Kyler have been playing great. Absolutely. Purdy's leading the NFL right now in most passing yards. So, without Christian McCaffrey being a big boost, obviously. So, just, no. Each level is just kind of getting
by a threat.
More and more messy.
Row 4, Dak's bad picks make him drop. I don't really blame Stafford for the game this weekend. He's down so many guys, but he has to drop a bit. He wasn't great. Justin Herbert didn't really do much of anything, but didn't have to do much of anything, which is kind of the dream for them right now with the Chargers, the opposite of what it's been. And Geno bleeping Smith, we are now in his 3rd year as a starter for Seattle. They are 19-15 in his starts. He completes 68% of his passes. He throws for 250 yards per game. He has a 97 rating and a 52-21 touchdown interception ratio. When you do that for 3 years, you're just a good quarterback.
Yep.
It's not just a good story anymore. He's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He deserves to be there. Row 3. The Wilds wanted Joe Burrow kicked off the mountain along with Kirk Cousins. The mountain knew better.
Baker Mayfield's on the level of Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. What are we talking about? Are you serious? I mean, and he moves up based off of his week 2 performance? Where's Baker Mayfield on here? Oh, week 2? He was the 24th best quarterback. So he beat out Dak Prescott, Tua, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, Richardson, Skylar Thompson. Like, you can see where Patrick Mahomes is down here as well. Like, that makes zero sense. And I'm not trying to bang on Baker Mayfield because I think he's been playing pretty well. But, like, come on here. Like we gotta be, we gotta be consistent here.
Better, and he maintains. Lamar, they lost. I thought he played well. I thought he played smart. I didn't think he was the reason they lost. And he had fallen further than he probably should have after week 1, so we correct. And Baker bleeping Mayfield. Go to Detroit and get a win that leaves Dan Campbell in tears. You're so distraught. Baker just wreaking havoc across the NFC. Row 2 and 1, it's pretty anticlimactic because I think it's what every single logical person would have right now as row 2. We can show it to you. And row 1. CJ's got to move up. I know they only scored 19 points. He's just making big 3rd down play after big 3rd down play in both games. And, of course, Patrick's at the top. So there it is.
Solid mountain.
The latest.
No, listen. And I'm going to listen to what they have to say. Remember, this mountain is what's going on this season. What's happening this season? Otherwise, this mountain would not be able to change week to week. Okay? We know that. It would not be able to change week to week if we were talking about entire careers. Okay? So I don't want to hear it. We're talking about this season. Patrick Mahomes has not been the number 1 quarterback. How does he not move down after playing a terrible game, an awful game? That's how we know it's not, this doesn't make any sense. Because he's played a terrible game on week 2 against the Bengals and doesn't move down. That makes no sense. Zero. And CJ Stroud, I mean, he definitely deserves to be up there. Right now, what it should be is Josh Allen, number 1. Josh Allen's been a better quarterback. He's been a better quarterback. Both passing and running. Mahomes is 75 for passing. Josh Allen is 79. Mahomes' runs grade is 84. Josh Allen is 88. He has been a better overall quarterback, Josh Allen, this season. I mean, Pro Football Focus has it right here. I mean, it just can't get any more clear than this. We can do, let's see here. Regular season. Who's been better? Josh Allen. Where's Patrick Mahomes? Down at 9th. Offensive rating, where is he? Patrick Mahomes is 75. Josh Allen is all the way up at 79. Sorry, Sam Darnold is 82. And that's why I'm not just using the stats, right? We're not just using the numbers, because no one in their right mind. This is kind of further proof that you just can't go by the numbers, because no one in their right mind thinks that Justin Fields is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes or C.J. Stroud, right? I mean, it's just not happening. But we're going by this week, by these last 2 weeks. That's where majority of it is coming from. Otherwise, Patrick Mahomes would never move down, and even last year, Patrick Mahomes moved down. So we know it's just kind of like picking and choosing when we want to apply the rules, which is why this segment really kind of drives me crazy. But Dak Prescott, I mean, we got Dak Prescott as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, top 10 quarterback. Again, let's look further. Where is Dak Prescott? All the way down at 26. Okay, Anthony Richardson's outdueling him. Jacoby Brissett, Malik Willis, Deshaun Watson, Gardner Minshew. So no. I'm not buying it. We're just not gonna do that. This will always be one of the hardest segments to kind of do, honestly, because the rules just make no sense. It just makes zero sense right now. Okay. Hurts and Dak should be on the same level right now. Just because of how these games unfold, and you can even see on Pro Football Focus, they're they're right next to each other. Allen needs to be at the top, Stroud, then Mahomes, and then you gotta give it up. If we're gonna be consistent, we gotta give it up to people like Derek Carr, Sam Darnold. Where's the other one that I'm looking for? Sam Darnold, Derek Carr, and Kyler Murray. I mean, these guys are balling out right now, and not all against just bad teams. They're not just feasting on bad teams. You got to give it up to them. Geno Smith is a question mark to me. It was against the Patriots and the Broncos. He didn't play as good of a competitor as say Sam Darnold has done against the 49ers, as well as Derek Carr versus the Cowboys, right? So that's why Geno Smith is kind of I'm going to put him a notch below.
Latest edition of Mahomes Mountain. Coach?
I got some issues.
Okay.
Coach?
Coach, you're not happy?
How could you not be happy with it?
That was a good mountain.
At some point, you're gonna have to make your own mountain, and I'm gonna rip it to shreds. Because what possibly is wrong with the mountain?
First of all, how could Caleb be on the mountain?
Who do you? Okay.
Yeah, he
so
should
I'm just
be
curious.
I would put Daniel Jones above Caleb.
Okay, Coach.
Coach,
you know people can see what you're saying.
I appreciate that Caleb's a rookie, and I appreciate that there's a lot of hopefully bright things ahead of him in the future. But he has played poorly enough to be off the mountain.
Yeah, but not as poorly as Daniel Jones.
I mean, I don't know.
I do know.
It's a toss-up, especially after last
Okay, well, even if it's a toss-up, you got to make a call. He's better than Daniel Jones.
I don't know how Jaden Daniels isn't higher than Richardson. I mean, there's another one. But my biggest. I
love Jaden Daniels.
I'm not saying I'm in love with him.
And you guys thrown 0 touchdown passes.
I watched
ahead of Anthony Richardson.
He's run for 2.
It's not the running back mountain.
I watched the game. Well, it looks like it might be running back mountain.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so my issue is Derek Carr, and I know you don't love Derek Carr. If you hate Derek Carr, but yeah, that's exactly where it is. And just let's take a look at what he's done through the first 2 weeks for him to stand. What row is he on?
It's row 5.
Row 5.
Can
we
please 11
bring
and 15?
up his stats?
I hope they don't have it. I hope they screw you here, Coach.
They might be screwing me. But it's pretty much.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
first 15 drives.
And then
that's why I said he's got to be up there.
It's a graphic that we've seen already, but that's pretty impressive, right? I mean, through the first couple games. All right, can we bring up the second graphic to reinforce what I'm saying about Derek Carr's ascent up the mountain? Wait, first, second, third, second most points through 2 games since the merger.
I mean, wow. He really belongs higher on the mountain.
Don't you think?
What could he have done?
I know you dislike him, but you're saying that Baker's performance through 2 games is better than what Derek Carr did?
Exactly.
Oh,
really?
yes, a definitive.
You're saying Lamar's performance through 2 games is better than what Derek Carr did?
So again, I'm sorry that I'm sorry that this, despite it being multiple years of us doing this, still causes so much confusion. Purely a statistical representation of who is having the best season.
What a passer.
It is Wild's. Wait, Coach. Wild's What is it? It is a rich
tapestry.
No,
of many factors.
USA
It's
Today.
a passion project where you whimsically throw quarterbacks up there,
No,
and you whimsically throw them down the mountain.
it's not
based
true.
off of however you feel.
It's flatly not true.
He should be on
I'm
the
telling
mountain
you
in
right.
college.
I'm telling you right now, Derek Carr is ascending faster up the mountain than I could have ever imagined. Sure. But there is a limit to how fast one can scale the mountain, especially when one has a 12-plus year history of attempting to climb the mountain, falling down, having his fellow mountain climbers mutiny against him, being sent to a different mountain. That guy is going to have to do more than have 2 great games.
You put Caleb on the mountain before he's in pro football. Now he's in pro football, and he's falling down the mountain.
And guess what? That shows the fairness of the mountain. Even though he was a transcendent mountain climber as an amateur, and the professionals, he's struggling. Derek Carr is rising fast. Everyone, you know what? Here's the thing, bro. People these days, it is living in such a microwave society.
Oh.
They got to have it all done so quickly. We can't wait for Derek to slowly ascend. It's got to be right. Hey, he's first and everything. Why? By coach's logic, he would be ahead of Patrick Mahomes, correct? By your logic, because he's first in everything. They're scoring all those points.
Intangible.
Well, I've learned over time that it's called Mahomes Mountain, so no matter.
Oh, okay. We didn't get to see the rest of that,
No.
unfortunately.
Wild, you know what, Wild?
I don't know how Jay.
Get the whole mountain there. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much already shared my opinions of it. Yeah, Mahomes shouldn't be at the top, just to kind of finish that thought, what I believe Coach Mangini was probably about to say. Because he shouldn't be. Again, we're not talking about where who's had the best career. This isn't the career mountain, okay? That's not what this is. So it really is what Mangini said, where we just kind of throw stuff up there and just see what sticks. I think the segment is meant to be confusing and meant to have people be like, what's going on? Are you kidding me? Right? Like all that, because it doesn't actually make any sense. It doesn't make any analytical sense. It doesn't make any, eye sense. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. And many other people. And again, that's kind of the point, because then you have discussion. Like I said, you got to put Sam Darnold up there. You got to put Carr up there. You got to move Patrick Mahomes down. He was not great week 1, and he was not great week 2. It's just the reality. It's just the reality. Okay? And Josh Allen has been great, and so has CJ Stroud. You're not going to put Baker up there. Baker has come away with 2 wins. He played the Washington Commanders, who are obviously not that good of a team right now. I think maybe they can kind of start to develop, but obviously week 1 and week 2, they have not been very good. So I'm sorry, beating them and then the Detroit Lions, and he did not play good against the Lions. He did enough to win the game, absolutely, and I gave him credit. So Baker Mayfield fans and Bucks fans, stop coming at me. I'm not hating him, but you're not going to tell me that he's playing better than Brock Purdy, that he's playing better than Derek Carr, because he's not. He's just not. There's just no way. Again, and not only does the eye test not prove that, but neither do the actual stats prove that. Okay, like it just doesn't make sense. He's definitely playing pretty good. They got him at 12. But you just can't put him that high, especially considering that a bunch of those stats came from being able to feast on a not good week 1 Washington Commanders. That's why some of this has to be put in context. That's why I'm not saying, well, Kyler Murray needs to be number 1. Because it's like, okay, we still need to put these things in context. Same thing with Derek Carr. Because he did get to also feast on the Panthers. Of players. But one thing I do know is that you got Josh Allen. Josh Allen, when you look at Kyler Murray, Derek Carr, Geno Smith, Sam Darnold, when you look at those 4 quarterbacks above him, the biggest reason why I would put Josh Allen number 1 is because he's asked to do more than Kyler Murray, than Derek Carr, than Geno Smith, and Sam Darnold. So what he does and what he brings to the Bills is more than what Kyler, Derek, Sam, and again, it's not to say that those quarterbacks aren't playing great. I've been praising them all season so far. So if anything, there really is no by far. Like that's the problem with this mountain to begin with. There is no 100% 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I'm going to put Derek Carr and Sam Darnold in the same group, you know, in the same basket of quarterbacks right now. I'm going to put Stroud and Allen above because it is a combination of what they've been able to do, who they've been able to do it against, as well as a little bit of less, you know, of who I believe them to be as quarterbacks, right? But it's not all of it. Like, again, that's where this segment, I honestly don't know if I'm even going to keep doing it because it's just, it's hard to break down because the logic is so all over the place. There's no logical explanation to have Caleb and Jaden on the same side, you know, in the same thing, in the same tier or row or whatever. Like, where do we got Jaden? We got Jaden all the way up here, 24. All right. You guys, let me see. There it is, where you can see it now. Jaden, his you know, report card or whatever, rating is 57.3 for offense. And then we go all the way down to Caleb, who's 44. Like, Caleb has not been playing good. So this isn't who we think Caleb will be or who these quarterbacks will be. It's who they are. And who they are right now, Jaden has been better in every category. In every category. In offensive rating, in the pass and the run, and turnovers. And so when it's that illogical, I struggle to then just consistently break it down. I struggle to find interesting things to say because I'm just like, but what? So I don't know. You guys continue to let me know if you want me to keep doing Mahomes Mountain. It's just to me, it's just too messy. How Carr and Kyler Murray can be on the same level as Cousins and Goff right now. Like it just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Justin Herbert and Dak on the same level. Like what? Baker and Lamar. Baker's a top 5 quarterback right now, or top 6 quarterback, I guess. No, come on. What are we saying, man? I just can't. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? What do you think about Mahomes Mountain this week? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.